Hey everybody, this is Dark Side Elite here, and I wanted to do this video real quick. It's literally after 3 a.m. here, and I wanted to get this out. Um, there's a huge amount of theories on what's going on with Titans, and one of the big ones is that Jericho's not dead. Now spoiler alert, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but that Jericho is not dead. That Jericho is actually, before he died, pushed his consciousness into his father, and I think he did it. I think he did it on a whim. It was he did it because he couldn't truly control his powers yet, but he basically pushed his consciousness into his dad, and he's been in his dad ever since. That's why his dad walked away from Adeline, and he just basically into the put himself in the mountains, and he stopped being Deathstroke. And it was there was a he and I had now there are some things in there that makes a lot of sense. Um, and there's other things in there that really, in a way, it really it really shows that these guys are doing a really good job when it comes to their storytelling. I think that this is a huge curveball. This is not a an out of the fence idea. This actually makes sense, and it actually happened in the comic books before. Jericho did push his consciousness into his dad for a little while, and so he was able to control his dad. He was able to be with his father. Now, I said in a video before in my season 2 episode 8 Jericho that Slade loves his kids. He's not a guy that just goes willy nilly with his kids. He loves them. He loves them with all of his heart. He's just a cold guy. He's just very, very cold, very detached from them when it comes to certain things. But that doesn't equate that that he doesn't love his kids. He does love his children, all of them, Grant, Joseph, and even Rose. Now, and I said Joseph because that's Jericho's real name. His real name is Joseph. He's the youngest. He's the second youngest of all the kids. Rose is the youngest. She's the youngest because I think she is the youngest. Um, However, in this TV show, there is no Grant. There's no his eldest child is Grant, and they never really talked about Grant, or they never even showed Grant Wilson. And that's okay. So, um, there are there are things being done in the episodes that really constitutes towards this theory. Now, one of them is that why is Deathstroke not Deathstroke? Why is Slade not Deathstroke again? And we're always wondering that, and we all thought that okay, maybe it was the fact that he killed his son, and he just felt so much distress and upset about it, he stopped being Deathstroke. However, if you look at the first episode, when he went back to Billy and told Billy he wants back in the game, Billy said, "Huh." He goes, it was kind of abrupt that you just disappeared out of nowhere. He's like, and that made me go, wait a minute. If he stopped being Deathstroke, he would have told Billy. He just stopped talking to Billy. This was his handler. This is the guy that was handling the business. He would never stop talking to that person, not unless he knew Billy was involved with it. And that's where it made me go, okay. But that's why this theory makes a lot more sense to me now. I'm actually in it with this. I do believe that Joseph, aka Jericho, he did push his consciousness into Slade, and Slade started to feel like there's something wrong, and he just stopped being Deathstroke, and he disappeared in the mountains. And we know there were books in there that was talking about the power of consciousness, the power of the inner self, science and metadata on what is the consciousness and what's the power of the consciousness and how much strength that you have to do and this and that. So he was doing a lot of mind over matter type of training. So my whole thing is, I think that Slade was trying to figure out what's going on. He's probably going to sleep, and Joseph's taking over and doing things with him, trying to make him do things, and he's forcing him to say, "What the heck is going on? Is he possessed?" He's wondering what the heck is going on, and I think that he's trying to keep that down. So he's wondering what's going on, and but I believe when he went to go see Adeline, he knows it's Joseph. He knows it's his son, and that's why he's doing everything he can to keep him down. He's like, no, these kids got you murdered. They force me to do what I have to do, and I have to destroy them. And that's why I'm going, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Now, a lot of people are going to try to misconstrue the situation. I think that Joseph, I think that Joseph is controlling Slade. I don't think that he's pushing his consciousness out to anybody. It doesn't make any sense because one, Slade's not always around when they're by themselves. Slade's not everywhere. And two, a lot of the things that happen in that place, the only person that knew was Joseph. The only person that knew was Joseph. I'm sorry, Jericho. The only person that knew, um, about the drink, the alcohol that Hawk likes to drink, that Hank likes to drink, um, the soda that Donna loved, and all these other things, the pictures, all that stuff, all that stuff is something that Joseph knew. Gar wouldn't know it. Jason definitely wouldn't know anything about that. That's all Jericho. And I think that Slade got him in there because he knew the codes. He knew all the codes of that building to get in and out of there because they showed it to him. Slade couldn't get any of those codes. That means he had to learn how to. That means that Billy had to break into Titan's tower. Again, why would they? Dude, if he was able to do that, then dude, those guys would have been dead. Raven and them would have been dead a long time ago. A long time ago. So it was Slade with Jericho in him. Jericho was taking control of him, and he went in there. He went in there to give them clues to say, "Hey, it's me," and that's why they're going. Wait a minute, Deathstroke got in here. They're like, wait a minute, whoa, whoa. So that was a throw off. And people are thinking, no, no, he was able to push his consciousness and then that. No, no, I don't think so. The only thing that made people go, wait a minute, what was going on with Richard? Here's my hypothesis. My hypothesis, and I could be wrong. I think that Richard knows something's wrong now because he's running away. And he's like, wait a minute, what the heck is going on here? Why is he running away? Now, again, this is the whole thing. If Jericho was able to push his consciousness into other people from a far distance, that would be insane levels of power. That's insane levels of power. That means he could jump into anybody. So why the heck would he? Why? And on top of that, Jericho wouldn't know takedown techniques yet. He wouldn't. He goes, well, Richard would. I say, yes, but that means he has to access his memories. And he doesn't have the ability to do that. We don't know that yet. So he could. He could be able to access his memories and be able to make him do a takedown and this and that. But Jericho stated in the show that he can only control the body. He can't force the body to be able to do martial arts. He can't do that because he doesn't know martial arts. Jericho doesn't know martial arts. He doesn't know self-defense techniques. He's been dead for 5 years. He doesn't know anything like that. And before that, he was a gentle kid. He wasn't a fighter yet, and they didn't train him yet. So he could not be able to do the martial arts that Richard could do. There's no way he wouldn't be able to. So I'm thinking that was all Richard. I think Richard put himself in a jail because he feels that he now owes to go to jail. He feels like he's doing the same thing he did before. He's doing the thing he did before when he killed Tony Zuko. He's doing the same thing he did before when all of the whole crap happened with Jericho. He's just running away, and the problem is still going to be there. It doesn't matter wherever he goes, the problem is still going to be there. I think that he's going to go to jail, and I think that that's going to start something else. Now that's going to start a certain storyline. My thing is that I believe, because again, we only have another 5 episodes left. We have another 5 episodes and they're done for the season. I think that the next episode is going to be a pickup episode for Connor and Gar. And I do believe that we're going to get Rachel is going to go off with Donna, and we're going to get a side story with that for a little bit. But Richard's going to be in jail, and they're all going to hear about what happened with Richard, and they're all going to come back to get Richard back. I think that they're all going to be so separated by what happened with Jericho, But they all. But here's my complaint, and I'm gonna have a complaint. This is my complaint about everything. And but this episode's about that I believe that Jericho is not dead. I think that his consciousness is just stuck in Slade. I think he's stuck in Slade. If he gets out of anybody into anybody else, you also got to realize something. They never said that he's that powerful. He's only able to control. That's it. He's able to push his consciousness into other people. He can't access the memories. He can't do any of that. He just says, dude, all I can do is just talk to the person and I can make him do what I want. That's it. So we need to just go off of that. If you're adding more to his power kit, that's we gotta wait until they explain it, because then you're just jumping the shark. You're just making him more powerful than he's supposed to be. And then when you find out the truth, you're like, oh, okay. You're gonna be upset about it. So I wouldn't add any more to his kit than what's already stated. So that's me. Okay, I'm gonna end it there. So I think that Jericho is not dead. I think that his body is dead. He can't get back into his body, but I think that he's going to I think that he's stuck in Slade, and Slade is doing everything he can to push him down because he wants that revenge. He wants to be angry. But Jericho's getting more and more powerful because the more that Slade doesn't keep himself in control, like how he detaches himself, his emotions, the more he doesn't do that and he starts to feel his emotions, Jericho starts to push back with his strong emotions, and it pushes Slade's consciousness into the back. It's one of those like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situations. That's what I think. Okay, one of my biggest gripes with this episode is I think that everyone jumped on Richard too early. I think that all of them don't realize that Richard didn't do anything really wrong. He Donna got attacked. He went to go beat the living daylights out of Slade, and Jericho got in the way of it. That's not Richard's fault. It really isn't. That's Jericho's fault. Jericho got in the way to try to help him. Jericho died as a hero, but that was more Slade. Slade should have realized that, hey, wait a minute, my son's in the way of all this. I have to minimize this. Slade wouldn't do that. Slade wouldn't just go willy nilly and try to kill somebody with his kid in the way. And his kid is emotionally invested in both of them. So he's gonna want one of them to live. So I think that this whole situation is very confusing, but they all jumped the gun right on top of Richard way too easily. And that's something I really hate. And it's like, wait a minute. Richard didn't do anything. He went there. He didn't. The only thing I would say I will blame Richard on is he should have told Jericho what happened and why he's here and minimized all that. But he just ran in and just started attacking Slade. That's pretty much what it was. He just ran in and started attacking Slade without telling Jericho why he's there and what the heck happened. The only thing that Jericho knows is that Richard followed him. He didn't give him the opportunity to talk to his father. And two, he just said that you killed my friend. That's why I'm here. Wait a minute. So he's like, okay, so you're just now just out of nowhere attacking my father for the. Like I said, this is all so ridiculously confusing. It makes no sense. So to me, and this is my opinion. I think that they really need to tone down that. And I think they really need to write that a little bit better, because if you watch it, you're gonna understand. To me, it feels like he needs to explain that a little bit better, because all he did was run in and attack Slade, saying that you killed my friend. He never mentioned about Donna. He never mentioned that you attacked Donna and killed her family. Oh, wait a minute. That would change the whole structure of the film if Richard said that. Because then Jericho would be like, wait a minute, you killed who? I said that in my episode 2, I'm sorry, my episode 8 Jericho, my episode 8 Jericho, that Jericho, sorry. Okay. I was wondering what that thing is. Okay. So just cracking my wall. Okay, so sorry about that. So that's why I feel that they need to really explain that a little bit more, and really get into tone what the heck is going on here, because a lot of us are still trying to figure out what's going on. And they structured it very, very particular, and they manipulated certain events a little bit differently than what you're telling me. And I feel that a lot of this could be minimized, and so that's why I personally feel that way. I think that a lot of people are going to jump on the gun and say, hey, you know, no, they're in the right. I go, I'm not saying they're wrong. What I'm saying is it doesn't make sense. Um, they all decided to go after Jericho. Richard said that he was not going to use this kid. He didn't want to use him. He wanted to be a Titan. They all agreed to that. They all agreed to it. Okay, so there's no animosity about that. Jericho got killed, but that was Deathstroke's fault. That was more than Deathstroke's fault than it was Richard, because Richard did not explain why he was there. And I think that that's where they should nail it. Like, listen, man, I'm angry at you because A, you went there without any backup, and two, you went there and never explained why you were truly there. You just went there and just wanted to beat the crap out of Deathstroke. To me, that makes no sense. Why did you do that? Why did you run in there in the first place? Batman taught you better than this. And that should have made us go, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Because if he just explained right then and there, just like, hey, listen, your father just tried to kill Donna. Donna is right now in the Titan's Tower bleeding out right now. She could die. And Deathstroke goes, if I wanted her dead, she'd be dead. He admit it. He wouldn't care. He'd be like, that would have made Jericho go, why did you do that? And Deathstroke would look at his son and go, listen, they used you to get to me. If they wanted me, come and get me. But they had to use you to get to me. And I'm going to protect my family. Yeah, I may have stayed away all those years, but that doesn't mean I don't love you. You know, that type of stuff. Get into the nuts and bolts of everything, and really get Slade to admit that. Yeah, listen, I tried to kill her. Yeah, but she got in the way of my family. They're twisting you, and all this other stuff. So you could really do a lot with that. But they didn't do that. It feels surface level. It feels very surface level, and it makes everyone just go, well, Richard was in the wrong. Richard was in the wrong. Yeah, I'm not saying that he wasn't. I'm not saying he was right for going there. What I'm saying is he should have explained it, and that would have made the whole scene feel way different. If he explained to Slade that Slade tried to kill Donna, I'm sorry. I have to beat the crap out of you, and that's what makes Jericho go. Wait a minute, you tried to kill Donna. Why? Why did you like? He'll be doing this sign like why? Why did you try to kill Donna? I'm not making fun of a person doing sign language. Trust me, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying from his perspective, he'd be doing sign language. He'd be doing sign language. He would not be holding that back. And I think that a lot of people will understand that. They'd be like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. Because he's explaining why he's truly there. He said beforehand, go talk to your dad, it's fine. He had no problem with it. But now he's going to show up and try to want to beat the crap out of his father? For what reason? You could say that, oh, he lied to Jericho. His whole demeanor beforehand was not to lie. And on top of that, he was doing it because Dawn asked him to. He was doing it as a good gesture to Jericho because he doesn't want Jericho. He wants Jericho part of the team. He wants Jericho part of the team. And he's just going to completely flip him off and say, nope, I want to beat the crap out of your dad. That's not Richard. Richard would never do something like that. Even written like this, he would never do something like that. He would never uproot his friends like that. He would never uproot his promise that he made. He would never do that. Never. The way they constructed him. Just because of Garth? He was going to forget. He was going to actually say, you know what, dude? We'll get your dad another way. But he's not going to use him. He said, I will not use you. And he explained why. He explained everything. Jericho was getting a little upset over it, but when he told him that your dad was a murderer, your dad was an assassin, he killed this person, that's what made Jericho go, whoa, whoa, whoa. So now you're telling me that Richard's going to say, you know what, I'm good with that. I'm just going to basically I'm just going to flagrant this poor kid's emotions. That makes no sense. So that's why I'm saying that makes no sense to his character. So, like I said before, there's a lot there. I wish that they explained just a little bit more. They explain just a little bit more, get further into the details of what's going on with the characters, and they get this down a little bit more. But that's what I think. I think it's still a really good episode. There's some hiccups in certain things, but it's not a bad season. I think that this season's is better than the first season, and I think that it's mainly due to the fact that we're not getting very much of Raven. I'm very happy with that. The actress needs work. Every time she tries to do her quote unquote type of Raven, it just feels so soap opery. I'm like, no, get her out of here, please. Get her done. Get her done. Get her out. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's very bad. They're writing her very, very bad. They're writing her in a soap opera actress type of way, and that's not how you write Raven. And I think that's terrible in itself. But that's that's my personal opinion. Okay. Like, comment, share, subscribe down below. Please ring that bell. I will get more videos out. I just did my $900 million success for the Joker movie. It talks a little bit about the Joker and what should we expect from the DCEU after this. And I will do another one talking a little bit about the streaming service, and I might do one about the streaming service. There's some other stuff I wanted to talk about, and I'm gonna try to get together with Hawk, and we're gonna try to get another podcast out, number five, and that's gonna that's gonna discuss about the Joker. I want to do a complete analyzation of the Joker and why are we fighting for the Snyder Cut? That's the whole point. The Joker is the reason of why we're fighting for the Snyder Cut, because it's a director-driven film, and that's all we want. We want what the director promised us. Now, I cannot wait for the rest of Titans. I love Titans. I really think I'm starting to enjoy this show a lot more than most of the other CW shows. Black Lightning is really good. The Flash is starting to teeter into the arrow realm. It's going down certain ways that makes no sense to the character, and they're in it to win it. And okay, if that's what you want, that's perfectly fine. It is your show, and you want to tell it a certain way, but they are wasting characters. They're honestly wasting characters. I thought that Cisco was going to leave. I thought Cisco was gone from this show. And now they're talking about bringing him back. Why? Write this character out. He's good. Let him go. It makes no sense. Oh, I'm not going to watch without Cisco on there. Dude, then you're not a Flash fan. Bounce. I'm sorry, you're not a Flash fan. Bounce. This show needs to reduce its people. It needs to reduce. It has too many storylines. It has too many things going on. You're now, again, you guys don't understand the reason why Carlos Valdez wants to get away. I'm not saying in a bad way, but just wants to go do other things because they're wasting his character. He's not. He barely has that many storylines. There's not much progression for him anymore, and he's become a side character. The only reason why Danielle Panabaker is on there is the fact is that she was promised a lot of growth with her Frost and Caitlyn storyline, which is, oh God, whatever. It's fine. But they need to give them their own side stories. But the problem is that this show is called The Flash. It's not called The Flash and Friends. It's not. It's called The Flash. If it was called Team Flash, then this show will be perfectly fine. But this show is called The Flash. It's about Barry Allen and his legacy. Not about Vibe, not about Frost, not about Joe West, not about Cecile West, not about, oh well, of course Iris West, duh. But not about the side characters or Ralph Denby. I love Ralph's character. I think that he's probably one of the best written characters on the show, and they give him just enough to make you go, oh, okay, we know what he's doing right now. And it's fine. I think he's probably one of the best characters they've written right now. And they've written him just right, where he's there, but he's centered to certain levels of story, but he has his own personal story that they're actually writing on the greatest of downloads, where you're getting more with him. And it's just right. To me, it's just right. And you're not understanding that. Cisco is a true supporting character, and he has not much storyline. because they wrote out the chick that was supposed to play as Gypsy. They wrote out Gypsy. So to me, it's like, what the heck are they doing? Oh my god, oh my god. Now we're gonna now the next episode is about is about oh man, I forgot. It's about Breacher coming back. So again, like I said, there's a lot of things I'm going to talk about. There's a lot of stuff, and Crisis is coming. Crisis is going to be in another few weeks. No, no, not a few weeks. Another 6 weeks. So we got another few episodes. Because right now we're on episode 4 or 5. I think we're on episode 4 or 5, and that's 3 more episodes. 3 more episodes because we're gonna get a break. We're gonna get a 2 week break for all these shows, and then 2 more episodes, and then we're gonna have the Crisis. So that's my opinion. I don't know their schedule or anything, and I really don't care about the schedule. I'm just hypothesizing because I know there's their 2 week, and then it's gonna be 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So they're gonna have 2 more episodes, which is episode we're gonna have a break. They're gonna have their Thanksgiving episodes. Then we're gonna have another break. We're gonna have a 2 week break, and then we're gonna have 2 more episodes, and then we're gonna have Crisis. So we have 4 episodes. They're not gonna have episode. They're not gonna have it all four, or that means all of December is gonna be completely filled. No, they're the first or second week of December is when they're gonna do their Crisis event. It's gonna be their mid season, and then and for some of them they're gonna have the episode 8, 9, and 10, and then they're gonna do the next week's episode to do their mid season finales, and then they're gonna go on their breaks until I think for some of them it's gonna be January, for some others it's gonna be February. So we're gonna have to find out. So um, we're gonna see. So like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe down below. Hit the bell. I will get a lot of videos out. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. And again, I want to do another podcast with Hawk, and we're gonna analyze the Joker. I want to analyze the Joker. I want to watch it again, and we're gonna talk about it, about what was real and what's not. Was this another Requiem for a Dream? Was this Asimov does robots dream of electronic sheep? Is this something that basically we can really analyze for the next, I would say, another 10 years, and try to digest what Todd Phillips was trying to say in that movie? And I think that he did a really good job, and I think the writers did a really good job. So I applaud them, and watch that video. I will have it out pretty soon. Okay. You guys have a great day. Have a great night. Bye.